great, big, hairy bogart. In Ireland, a long time ago, there was a farmer by the name of Jude. And Jude had bought some land. He bought it at a very low price and was very pleased. He took his wife, Beth, along to see the land. "Well, it's very good land," said Beth. "Indeed it is," said Jude. "What shall we grow on our land?" "My land, you mean?" Jude and Beth looked up to see a great, big, hairy bogart. He had arms as long as the M42. He had feet as big as cattle trucks and fists as big as dustbin lids. He had a great red face, eyes as large as tomatoes, and a nose as red as a beetroot. "This is my land," the boggart said, "and my boggart fathers before me, so get off it." "It's my land," said Jude. "I paid for it. I have the deeds. It belongs to me." "No, it doesn't." "Yes, it does." "No, it doesn't." "Yes, it does." And the two of them argued and stuck out their chins and stamped their feet. "I think I have the answer," said Beth. "You plant the crop," pointing to Jude, "and you," pointing to the boggart, "can reap it. Which half of the crop do you want?" "What do you mean?" laughed the boggart. "Which half do you want, tops or bottoms? Choose, quick!" I'll have the tops," said the boggart, feeling very pleased with himself. "What am I supposed to do now?" Jude rounded on Beth as they walked home. "Sure, it's very simple," said Beth. "All you have to do is plant potatoes." So Jude planted potatoes, ploughed the fields, and watched as the green bushy plants came up. When it came time to reap the crop, Jude was at the field when the boggart came walking along. "There you are, boggart," said Jude. "There are the tops. Make what you will out of potato plants." "You little rogue!" roared the boggart. "You nasty little cheat! That's not fair!" "It's what you signed up for," said Jude. "Take it or leave it." roared the boggart. "Oh, all right. Well, next year, next year, you can have the tops and I'll have the bottoms." "Now what are we going to do?" Jude wanted to know. "It's very simple," said Beth. "Next year you have to plant barley. Let's see what use you can make of barley roots." So Jude rolled the land and watered it after planting the barley seed. The seeds began to sprout, and by the spring the field was a golden carpet of barley. The boggart was furious when he saw it. He stamped his feet, he jumped up and down, he waved his arms, and he roared, "You nasty little shrimp! You runty little "It's what you asked for, boggart," said Jude. "Now take your barley roots and be off with you." "All right," roared the boggart. "Next year, this is what we'll do. You plant the crop and we'll both reap it. And next year, you will plant wheat. I'll do the north end of the field, you do the south. And we keep what we cut." Well, Jude and Beth had to think a long time. The boggart had such long arms. He was obviously going to cut more wheat than poor Jude could. "It's either that," roared the boggart, "or it's a fight to the death." Now, it's true, Jude had been the bare-knuckle champion of County 50-50 for 58 years. But even he knew he couldn't fight the boggart, whose fists were the size of dustbin lids. "Oh, what a sight," said Jude, looking at the boggart jumping up and down. "I wouldn't want to hurt the boggart." "Very well, we'll do as you say." Jude and Beth both thought. They thought and thought until their thinking caps fell apart. And this time it was Jude who came up with the idea. "I'll put iron rungs in the ground," he said. Iron rods turned out to be what he put in, because he couldn't take his ladders to pieces. So,
The time is now 6 p.m.
At 6 o'clock that night, Jude went out to the field and put rods in the ground. So the next morning, the two of them started, Jude from the south, the boggart at the north end. But every 3 steps that the boggart took, there would be a loud clunk as his rod struck upon the blade of his scythe. Step, step, clunk. Step, step, clunk, went the boggart, while Jude happily went on cutting the wheat. The boggart threw down his scythe. "This wheat is useless," he roared. "It won't cut." "I seem to be doing all right," said Jude, effortlessly cutting his way through the wheat. The boggart had to think for a moment. Did this mean that the puny human was stronger than he was? He threw his scythe down and vowed he would never return to the field again. And at that point he marched off, never to be seen again, because he didn't look where he was going and fell into the stream. And I'm afraid to say he drowned miserably and gurgled his way to death, because the stream was very deep and full of horrible poisonous fish who bit his bottom and left his rotting. But never mind that. Jude pulled up the iron rods and finished cutting the wheat, and he started his own cereal business, and he lived happily ever after. As for the boggart, well, who cares about him? I don't.